This is an Infoblips LLC podcast network production.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sundays with Shai, brought to you by Infoblips. Without further ado, here is the star of our show, Shai.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week. Man, I don't know about you guys, but the last 2 weeks I feel like have dragged, and I feel like I've been tested more than anything consistently on a daily basis these past 2 weeks. So I'm excited to just sit and talk with you guys. I don't really have like a teaching subject. This week is a break period. Basically, it's the in-betweener of our healing journey because we all deserve to rest our minds and just kind of sit back and reflect. So that's what this week is about, and that's kind of what I've been doing the past couple weeks as well, and along with the shadow work and boundaries and intentions that I've taught about. But we've made it. We've made it pretty much halfway through the root work of healing and spiritualities, and it's cool that we made it this far. And I want you guys to be proud of yourselves. I'm proud of myself for being consistent and being here weekly for you guys and showing up and making sure I'm prepared, making sure I'm educated, and just being able to go back into my subconscious and bring those experiences to be able to share them with you guys. And like I've said in the past episodes, I'm thankful to be in this space again. So that's what I've been reflecting on, and I'm really proud, and I'm excited for the future episodes. I'm excited to see where the podcast goes, and I'm just very thankful and I'm proud. Like, I don't know how much more emphasis I can put on that word because I'm a person that looks to other people to validate my feelings, to be like, yeah, you're on the right track, you're doing a good job, I'm proud of you. But I've had to learn along the way that yeah, it feels good to hear that from someone else, but if I still come home and I have doubts about myself, then I still don't feel good. I still don't have that. So being able to really self-validate myself and just be proud and happy and grateful, it's so cool. And I'm excited for when you guys are able to be in this space as well, because I know we're all at different points. And if you're new here, welcome. And you may be like, well, dang, this isn't the episode for me. Go back to episode 1, and when you come back, just reflect and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But with being proud, I'm also just grateful. I'm in a really, really huge energy of just gratitude, and it's more than just being thankful that you guys are listening and thankful that I'm breathing air. It's really embodying the energy of gratitude and being grateful, and it feels so good because I can tell you last year, 2 years ago, I not that I didn't recognize my blessings, but I recognized my blessings and then I was ready immediately for more. I was like, okay, I'm on to the next step. Like, let's go. It's game time. Where's my game plan? Where's my business plan? How do I make this happen? And it's like, whoa, wait a second. You just started this last idea. Like, this hasn't even grown or blossomed into anything to where you can start a new project. And so I've been reflecting on that, and so I'm just thankful that I'm in this space where I can really just slow down my life, slow down my thinking process. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be excited. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to write down your ideas, but to sit here and to stress about it and to be like, I need to figure it out tonight, like that's not healthy for anyone, like for myself, for your mindset, for the people around you, because you're projecting onto them. You're just it's just not a good space to be in. So it's the time to slow down and reflect and just actually be thankful and sitting in your blessings and looking around you and just really understanding like where you're at, because 2 years ago I wasn't thinking about a podcast. Yes, I was listening to them daily. Yes, I had the small little thought in my mind that like, oh, it'd be cool to have that. And even just before John presented the idea, I was joking with an old coworker that me and her should have a podcast because we would just be popping off at the mouth, making each other laugh and just goofing off. And we just be like, haha, that'd be so fun. And so it's just really crazy to see like what you speak out loud and those little thoughts that you have, like they actually come to light and to life. And it's so cool because I really never thought that I would make it this far. And I'm so thankful and proud of myself for being consistent because I'm like I think I've talked about in a couple past episodes that I struggle with imposter syndrome and struggle with comparison. So I often get to a point where I'm in this space where I'm like the imposter syndrome is kicking in and and I'm just like this isn't for me. I'm done. We're going to stop. We're going to take a break for months. Not days, not weeks, it's months. And in that time period, I'm not reflecting on positive things. I'm reflecting negatively. My self-talk is negative. I'm telling myself that I'm a failure. Like it's not a good time. And so it's really nice to really slow down and recognize what's in front of you and really just, you planted the seed and you're growing your plant. And that's the plant that you need to focus on right now. And you're eventually going to have a fulfilling, huge garden, and it takes one step, one plant at a time. And so that's pretty much what I've been reflecting on. And I just want you guys to also just think about where you've come these past few weeks and be proud of yourself and actually note down the things that you're proud of. I'm proud of myself also setting boundaries, and I may not necessarily know the next step when those boundaries aren't violated, but I at least know how to navigate the emotions behind the violated boundary or the boundary being crossed. And so it's just thank you guys. I'm just I don't know how to say it. I'm just thankful and I'm grateful. I'm really in a space of gratitude and I'm really understanding my blessings and I'm really understanding how to focus on myself, which in the beginning of this podcast, that was my intention and that was my goal. And it's really cool that I'm grazing the surface of it and I'm like, I'm finally doing it. Like when it comes to your goals and your intentions, like when you're actually putting in the work behind it and you start to see like the rewards and you start to see the work being placed and it's so cool and I'm so excited for you guys to get there and I can just keep saying that all day. But anyways, I'm really proud of where we're at and how far we've come along, and I'm thankful that you guys are on this journey with me. And with this reflection, there's also the things that I have noticed that I've lacked on. And I want to share that with you guys because the spiritual journey is not always positive, love and light, like I always tell you. There's there's the shadow work, there's the ego that you have to get through, there's the emotional blocks that you have to get through, and life tests you like I've always said, life tests you daily, and it's how you respond to it is basically how life is going to hand more shit to you. So within my reflection, I've noticed that my boundaries do lack within my self boundaries, and they also lack within my relationships. Excuse me. My communication, I'm still greatly lacking in that, and that's something that my inner child also that I need more inner child healing with because like I've said in past episodes that being emotional and reflecting on your feelings wasn't something that I was able to do as a child because it was seen as a negative aspect, as attitude, as talk back, as weakness, as whatever it is, it wasn't there. And so I'm having a really hard time, being able to express myself like emotionally without shutting down, without rejecting myself, without rejecting my feelings. And so that's something that I'm working on, just being more emotional and more communicative of my boundaries and emotions and where they lie and why they're there. Because a lot of the times I feel like I'm silent about the things that I need to speak up about and I need to stand up for myself. And so I've realized that there's a lot of boundaries I have to place within myself and within my friendships and relationships if I want to see myself succeed and I want to see my friendships flourish. So um I have noticed that I need to work on that. And that's huge. Communication is huge, not within just yourself, but for other people, because when you're starting to speak your manifestations out loud and you have to be clear and direct, when you're not clear and direct, the universe doesn't know what to respond to. And so before I can become clear and direct about what I want, I have to be clear and direct about the emotions that I'm feeling and, communicate. And so I have to work on that. I have to work on my boundaries. I also need to work on not being so codependent on my feelings as well and my fears and kind of just be okay with sitting back and relaxing sometimes. Like I'm a person that's always on the go, always thinking of the next step, always thinking of the next move. And sometimes there's just periods where you genuinely have to rest. Like the past few weeks, my brain has been on overload, and I'm really genuinely realizing that when I'm constantly putting so much on my plate and putting so much in my daily routine and my schedule that I start lacking in other areas, and then I become sad about that because I'm like, no, I'm making such good progress that like I don't want to lack. I don't want to slack off. So it's just really embodying the energy of commitment, and that's another thing that I'm lacking. So with this journey, this is what comes up. Like you really just start to see yourself. You really start to hold up a mirror and reflect. You see yourself in a different light, and you're constantly trying to change and constantly trying to grow and expand yourself. So it's just it it's hard and it's exhausting. Okay, like I'm tired. Like I always tell myself, like, okay, we're here. Like I'm so happy we're here, but then I'm like, but there's still so much work underneath. Like we're barely scratching the surface of what's really underneath and in the subconscious. But I'm holding on to the reins and I'm trying to stay strong because it's hard work and it's very triggering, like I've said in the past. And sometimes when you get to this space, it's really starts to feel lonely. And loneliness, sometimes you're at peace with it when you get to a certain point, because you just accept the space that you're in, and not everybody is at that point. And so when you surround yourself with people that aren't at your level, then you kind of distance yourself and you kind of just, sit back and you're lonely. Like you don't have that same relationship that you do with people because you're growing and you're just on different levels. And it's not a bad thing. It's not anything that you have to be like, oh, well, I got to cut this person off. We're at different levels. Like no, like cutoff culture is like, I understand that I've said like cut them off. You set the boundary, cut them off. But I don't mean like just start going around cutting people off. Like also like be intentional with your cutoffs. Like obviously if that's a toxic relationship with toxic person, then go ahead and do it, girl. That was gender bias. I'm sorry, everyone, but you understand what I mean. And so, it's very lonely, it's very triggering, but it's also very peaceful. Like being in your own space. Like I'm also recognizing that I like being alone. And as much as I thrive on my relationships and my friendships, and I love my friends, and I want our friendships to grow, and I want to hang out, I also like my peace and solitude. I also like being able to sit in my house and do nothing and rest when I want to and not have any obligations other than my business and my podcast and the other opportunities that have been presented to me. And so it's really nice to just get back to me. I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting back to myself and I'm getting back to what I want in life. And I don't want to give away too much details because not that it's not set in stone, but I'm a very private person. But with this new project that I'm working on, it has come to my light that for most of my life, I have looked for understanding and acceptance. And so that has really light bulbs have gone off, and I'm kind of putting all the puzzle pieces together as to where I fit in my relationships, because I've realized that most of them are based on being understood or being accepted or whatever the case may be, and it's going to be reflected on later. But it's just, this is also a revelation of doing the work and just reflecting on your life and reflecting on your subconscious and reflecting on, from day one, like your first memory from birth up until now. Like it's insane to like visualize your life as you are now, but going back to those times as you were a child and remembering what makes you happy and what changed your personality and your morals and your values. So I can go on and on about it, but the work has just really brought some really really cool and crazy things, and I'm happy about it. I'm thankful, and it's very triggering, and it's hard to work through, and I'm trying to understand the emotions, but we'll get there. I'm gonna get to a point where those triggers and those emotions are gonna come up, and I'm gonna be like, ha, it ain't nothing, boo. I got this, and I'm able to reinforce my boundaries with myself or with that situation, and it's cool. So, whew, there's my reflection. I know that I feel like I dump on you guys a lot, and I apologize, but this is also my space, that this is what we're here for. And this is, you guys have to see the raw, true me. And I didn't even really take notes for this episode because I'm like, I just really want to speak from my experience and from my heart and really just what's on my mind. And, it's a reflection period. Reflection is not something that you can write down. Like, I can write bullet notes and such, but anyways, so my goal and intention as we go along is to basically work on the things that I lack and try to implement them more and really make them strong habits and not weaknesses. And that's the greatest thing about understanding your strengths and weaknesses, because you create your weaknesses to be your greatest strengths. And as you go along, you'll always have weaknesses, but we all do. We all have breaking points. We all have faults, and that's what makes us human. That's what makes us having a human experience. And it's beautiful once you realize that and accept it. And within this reflection period, I've talked about gratitude, and I'm just very thankful and just in this grateful energy. And I was actually on TikTok, and this girl was, I think she's a therapist or she was in therapy, and she was talking about abundance. And for me, and I think most people, when we think of abundance, we think of finances. We think of, I want to be a millionaire. I want to have lasting income. I want to just think about money and it's there when I open my door. And she put it in a great perspective that like really changed my mind, and I really want to practice it daily. And she said basically abundance is large amounts of like material items, or if you want to call them blessings, that are surrounding you. And it's basically looking at your life physically and seeing what's surrounding you. I have a closet full of clothes that I'm able to choose from daily to keep me warm, or if I need to, if it's the summertime, to keep me cool. My dog has an insane amount of toys to keep him happy. He has a variety of bones to keep him occupied. He has treats. He is loved. He is loved by so many people, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the amount of people that support me and listen to me weekly, that support my nail business, and just have been really great friends and supporters along the way. I have a boyfriend that keeps me on track and reminds me of the good things that I'm doing in life, and just keeps me on track with my goals and my focus. And I have a family that loves me and also wants to see me strive. I have people that are presenting opportunities that the little girl in me is like, what? Like, you want me to do that? And it's just, I'm that's what abundance is. I think it's recognizing like what's around you, and it's not so much finances, it's not so much material things, it's the things that you get to come home to, it's the energy that you get to embody around you, it's the people you're surrounded by, it's the quality of life that you're presenting. And it's John always talks about money is always there. And it's true. Regardless of what you do in life, money is going and coming and going and coming. It's an energy, and you're an energy. So when you're using your energy in resourceful ways and not using your energy to chase the energy of money, it's coming. And I'm really embracing that. And I'm really thankful that I'm in this space of gratitude, because once you're in this space, the blessings are there. The monetary value that you're searching for, it's there and it's coming, and you can see it, and you're able to take care of it, and you're able to really hold on to it and cherish it and not just fuck it off. So I'm forever, ever, ever, ever thankful for his wisdom and his knowledge and his opportunities and just the things that he's presented along the way. And like I know I say it every week, but you guys, I really grew up on being thankful and understanding, the people that you have around you. And I'm just thankful. And I don't want to get emotional, because I'm really grateful to be in this space and to be back on this train and really like get back to me, because I'm really feeling like I'm back to Shay. I'm back to Shayna. Whoever you met and whoever you remember, like I'm genuinely getting back to her, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna stop babbling. I'm gonna stop repeating myself, because I definitely can keep going on and on. And basically this week, I want you guys to reflect. I want you guys to be proud of yourself. I want you to open yourself to gratitude, and just start seeing the things that you're surrounded by, and recognize that you're a lot more blessed than you would think, and really take care of those blessings, because when you do, then you create more space for more, and you create the space to hold on to it and cherish it more. So I want to leave you guys with that this week. And as always, I really appreciate you guys. And thank you, John. Thank you to InfoBlips. Just thank you, everyone, for being here weekly and sharing this energy and space with me. Your affirmations this week are: I am grateful. I am abundant. I will give myself grace. Thank you guys. That was another week with Sundays with Shay, brought to you by InfoBlips Podcast Network.